Hi, I'm Janie Crane, the Executive Director for the Island Hospital Foundation, and I want to welcome you to the Great Bagel Bake-Off. Tonight's program is part of a week-long fundraiser called the Well Journey Adventure. Throughout this week, we are raising funds for a new health and wellness center right here in Anacortes on Commercial Avenue. This new center will have flexible space that will enable Island Hospital to expand its community education programs. This space will also host support groups, mental health group therapy, and even a fitness class or two. Tonight's cooking demonstration is inspired by a key feature at the new Health and Wellness Center, the Teaching Kitchen. The Teaching Kitchen will be a place to provide instruction and demonstration to teach healthy eating habits for those who need to modify their diets because of a new diagnosis or medication. The Health and Wellness Center with its Teaching Kitchen will be of great benefit to all of us in our community, but we need your help to make this happen. By making a financial contribution right now, you can help the new Health and Wellness Center come to fruition. Click the donate button in the upper right-hand corner of your screen to make a donation with your credit card right now, or you can mail in a check if that's what you prefer. The address is right below. Before we begin tonight's program, I do want to take a moment to thank our sponsors, especially our wellness sponsor, Marathon Petroleum. Because of our sponsors, tonight's program and all of our offerings throughout the Well Journey Adventure are of no cost to you, the viewer. I would also like to thank tonight's host, Warren Tessler, for allowing us to film this program in his home. Warren currently serves as one of 5 Island Hospital commissioners, and he's also a pastry chef. And last but not least, I want to thank our special guest, Gina Walsh. Gina is an executive at People's Bank and currently serves on the Island Hospital Foundation Board. Now, without further ado, welcome to the Great Bagel Bake-Off.
Warren, thank you so much for letting us come into your home and showing us how to cook. What are we making first?
Well, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to start off with bagels,
okay.
And because most everybody likes bagels.
Yeah,
and
I like bagels.
It's tough to find good ones. I mean, the ones in the stores are not so great. So we'll do that, and then we'll do.
Did you invite company?
Not really.
Oh.
But you never know who's going to stop by.
Okay, well, go check. Maybe it's that wine I door-dashed.
We can only hope. By golly. And so
Hi.
you people are who?
Oh, I'm Anna.
I'm Curtis.
And we're here for the Great
Bagel Bake-Off! Because I'm gonna win.
No, I'm gonna win.
I'm gonna win.
I'm gonna win.
Well, we're just here to make some good food. I don't know about winning anything except, some nutritious and delicious food, but that's about as far as it goes as far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
All right.
What do we do first?
First thing is, if you're going to stay in the kitchen, you can put on an apron.
Okay.
I just happen to have a couple of aprons here for you. So you can put those on. Keep yourselves tidy.
I think this works for me. This is my color.
Good, good.
So what are we gonna make?
All right, so we're going to start off with the bagels. And the first step in making bagels is to make what's called a sponge.
Ooh,
Okay.
So we take, this is 18 ounces of bread flour.
Okay.
bread flour.
Yeah.
Different than
Different than
All-purpose
all-purpose flour, cake flour, or those things. The different types of flour have different amounts of protein in them.
ooh.
So
That sounds healthy.
Bread flour is on the higher end of flours with protein. So we put in a teaspoon of yeast. Yeast is actually a living organism and comes alive in the when you add the water, and then starts to work on the starches and sugars that are in the flour to throw off carbon dioxide gas. It also throws off alcohol. That gives you the smell, and that bakes off. But
So yeast
ye-
helps
the-
with
have
gas.
to-
the carbon dioxide is what makes the bread rise, because the gas expands, basically forms little pockets in there.
So do you have to store it in a different way because it's a living organism? Or
Keep it
can
in
you
the
just keep
refrigerator or the
Okay.
freezer when this is freeze dried is how it comes. So
Okay.
we've got 20 ounces of water,
Ooh.
and so this is going to make, we call it a sponge, or some people call it a slurry, because it's not going to be a fully formed dough.
Breads, like many other foods, were created by accident. So somebody way back in the day had a slurry of flour and water. Maybe they spilled some on a hot rock, and it turned into a congealed bread product.
We just want to get it all mixed up. It doesn't need to be smooth or anything
Is that
like
like
that.
cookie dough? Like, do
just-
I want to taste that or no?
Not really. It's
No?
just flour and water, so it's not going to taste. It's going to taste like the paste you ate when you were in 3rd grade.
I did not eat paste. How
No.
did he know that?
Now we're going to just cover this. If you want to hand me that plastic wrap, cover it up and let it sit for approximately 2 hours in a warmish place or room temperature. If you have an oven that can do a proof setting,
Okay.
until it roughly doubles in size. So it usually takes about 2 hours or so.
So is it gonna puff up over the top of the bowl?
It'll come up and it'll double in size. It'll roughly start to touch the
2
plastic.
hours?
Yeah. Now through the magic of television, we just happen to have
Ooh,
some stuff here that's ready. So,
that was the fastest 2 hours of my life.
He was right. Doubled in size.
we'll take that. So this is our sponge.
Why is it bubbling?
You can see that's the yeast that has been working away, bubbling away, and creating all this gas.
Maybe that bread product that they were making was in a location that naturally had yeast and bacteria in the air. Those yeast and bacteria lay down on that fermenting dough, causing fermentation, causing air bubbles to form, causing flavor differences in that dough. Somebody bakes that bread, it starts to rise up. They associate yeast, bacteria, with flavors in bread, with raising up bread so that it makes it a nice fluffy consistency.
If you smell it, you can smell a little bit of an alcohol-y smell because it gives that off. You know, those are the 2 byproducts. So the alcohol bakes off in the baking process. And goes from there. So we're going to take that and put it in the mixer.
Okay.
That's a big mixer.
It's about as big as they come for home use. And then we're going to add the rest of the ingredients. 17 more ounces of bread flour.
Bread flour.
And
Not to be confused with cake or all-purpose.
we've got 7/10 of an ounce of salt. This is kosher salt. If you do it by weight, no, it doesn't matter whether you have table salt, kosher salt, it's the same every time.
So if you weigh it, even Curtis could do it.
Even Curtis could do it.
I could do it. You know, I have salt. I have flour. I could get the yeast stuff. I could make this at home.
Do you have
Easy.
vital wheat gluten?
Vital wheat gluten? Well, where could I get vital wheat
You can
gluten?
get that in the store.
Okay, we'll see.
store. Okay.
Put it on the list.
Professional bagel shops actually use a flour that is higher in gluten than regular bread flour that we can buy in the store. So to kind of bump it up and make it chewier or more toothsome, we add 4 tablespoons of vital wheat gluten.
So it makes them
and do
stronger.
that.
Will eating these make me stronger?
Probably not. So
Yeah,
we'll add another half
totally.
teaspoon of yeast. So those are all of our dry ingredients.
Okay.
Again, whisk them up nice and so they're thoroughly distributed. When you put it on the mixer, you run the risk, if you don't get it evenly distributed ahead of time, you run the risk that you get kind of a lump of salt in one place and
right.
yeast in the other. So you want it evenly done. And then the other thing we have to add is, this is called barley malt syrup.
Now that looks like something I would want to taste.
It's a little bit on the sweet side.
It smells very sweet.
Yeah, it's
So
actually
an
not.
alternative sweetener, so like in desserts?
It's like it's not used widely for that sort of thing. It's used somewhat in cakes. Some people use it as a substitute for honey, that sort of thing. I think you can buy it at the natural food store here in town. I order mine online just because I don't always remember. And so I think it's also used in making beer.
So is this what's going to give it all its flavor?
This gives it some flavor. It's kind of a hint of flavor on that. And we're going to put it on the mixer.
Okay.
And put in the dough hook.
Dough hook.
Bring it up, put it on first speed. You don't want to put it on a higher speed because then you're going to have flour flying around the room. Probably should put this stuff in.
Wow.
This is so exciting.
So you put it on its lowest speed.
Mix.
If you put it on a high speed, you've got flour all over the place. And
I've
that'll
never
take
done that.
that'll take a minute or so until all of the flour gets mixed into the dough. Not much you can do except watch it. They're watching it. You're feeling very sleepy.
I am. It's hypnotic.
This is better than anything on Netflix right now.
For real.
You know, our obesity levels in America are rising. Globally, they're rising. And so people are saying that this is due to the grains in our diets. I think that this can easily be overcome if we just make sure we're eating a balanced diet. When we're eating food, when we're preparing ourselves a meal, it should be a quarter grains, a quarter protein, and half fruits and vegetables. As long as we're hitting those ratios for our meals and snacks, there is no problem with eating grains for most people.
So we're almost there. See, now we put it on second speed.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Oh no!
And this will go for 5 minutes.
Are we synchronizing?
We're simonizing our watches. So
I
5
didn't do
minutes,
anything.
and there's really not much else that'll happen here. So we'll just tidy up a little bit while that's going.
That's all you.
Uh-huh. I could have guessed that.
I'm just gonna watch the.
You do that.
Okay.
If it tries to escape, let me know.
We're guarding this. The bait.
Whoa. Kind of looks like it's struggling a little bit.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it is, as I said, it's a very stiff dough, and it's a
This is
workout
the
for the
extra
mixer.
strength we put
so-
in.
You're doing great.
Uh-huh. Just feel free to pitch in here anytime. How are we doing time-wise, Curtis?
We have
I didn't actually.
3 minutes
track.
and 5 seconds.
That's what I have too.
Yeah, good,
Yeah.
good. We're coordinated then, so.
Yeah.
Are we ready for the countdown?
Oh yeah.
15, 14, 13, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bagel.
Close enough. So we'll take it off of here
Cooking magic.
and
Whoa.
put
You're
it on
strong, Warren.
the thing. We can push this out of the way.
I'm not gonna touch that.
All right.
Don't touch it.
And-
Those are.
So
We watched and it did not come alive.
good, good.
Probably.
You can see how strong it is. See how it
Yeah,
springs
it's like
back
hard.
when I push it down. It means there's a lot of gluten development, which is exactly what we want for this kind of a product.
Gluten development.
And so we're going to portion
we're
it
gonna
out
weigh it.
into
Oh.
4-ounce pieces. So anywhere between 3.9 and 4.1 is acceptable. So you just want to cut it off like that, put it on the scale. We're at 3.84, so we'll put off a tiny piece. We're at 4.
4 on the nose.
So, and we'll set that there.
Okay.
So you want to try this?
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Uh-huh, okay. Give it a try. We can do a couple. So just cut off a small piece.
I'm gonna go with
let's-
4.1.
Yeah, we're at 3.4. So
Yeah, totally.
cut that in half, please. 3.95, so we're good.
Oh,
Center.
9. Okay,
Okay.
it's your turn. I'm bad at math. There you go.
Okay, I'm gonna guess this. What do you think?
You don't want to overthink it.
No?
Oh, that's my
Don't
specialty,
worry,
though.
I won't have that problem.
All right, 4.16. It's real close. You want to cut off just the tiniest piece here. 4.04.
Would you say
Okay.
that my piece was closer than Anna's piece?
But mine was.
I would say it was more adorable, maybe, but
But mine had more gluten strength.
Gluten strength.
You are significantly better and faster at
I know,
this
this
than
is
me.
like-
I've had a lot of practice.
When did you start baking?
Probably about 30 years ago, 35 years ago, and kind of gradually got into doing it more and more.
What's
And,
your favorite thing about baking?
Well, it's
That's a good one.
kind of the precision. It's really
Yeah.
a lot of science, and there's left brain and right brain folks, and it's more of a left brain activity.
Oh,
And
So you're saying that I probably shouldn't practice the wing it style of baking.
well, winging it works better for cooking
Okay.
because you can adjust as you go along. You can add spice or salt. And with baking, you mix it up and it goes in the oven. And
You hope you did it right?
yeah, because you can't really change it after that point.
The Skagit Valley has a very rich grain economy. There are many national companies with locations all over the US that have come to the Skagit Valley to purchase the grains that we have developed here because of their qualities and the quality that they bring their products. Several of these businesses have been able to reduce the amount of added ingredients in their products by several ingredients because of the inherent qualities of the grains that they're buying here.
So next, we need to roll them into balls.
Okay.
Rolling.
Now, there's a couple ways you can do this. The quick way is just put a tiny bit of water on the table, and then I'll do this quickly, and then I'll slow it down and show you. And do it so we get a nice tight round ball.
Baking magic.
So what we're putting a little bit of water in here to give it some grip, because it's a relatively dry dough. Say the hydration rate is 57%. If you divide the amount of water, 20 ounces of water, by the 35 ounces of flour, it comes out to 57%.
I will trust you.
So
That place.
Yeah.
with a lot of breads
Is that what
and
you
rolls.
calculated as well?
Got that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Some doughs, like an Italian pizza dough, will be like 75% of this. It'd be a very sticky, kind of slack sort of a dough.
It would also be delicious.
But all those things affect how a product bakes up towards the end. So this one, as I said, is lower on the hydration scale. So if you just go to roll it, see how it slides around. So I can't do anything. So I put a tiny bit of water there to give it a grip. And then,
Is there a certain type of surface that you should do this on?
well, it's easier on wood. It would work on the granite.
Those are perfect.
But anyway, of course.
Of course, obviously.
Well, mine
Why
would-
wouldn't they?
I mean,
Mine will be perfect.
I'm not chopped liver.
Yeah,
Yeah,
ours are going to be
he's not
perfect too,
chopped liver.
Curtis. Like,
Actually,
Well, I
why don't
wanna
you
see him
move the
closer.
pan over
Okay.
to this side? That'll make it a little bit
I've got
easier.
it. I can do this part. Thank you.
All right, and then we'll show you how this is done and see if you can do it. So basically, when I'm moving this around, see, I'm gripping it with my fingers, and my thumb is pushing the other part underneath, so it catches, and that grips on the, so you go kind of in the circular motion, pushing it with the fingers and pulling it under with your thumb.
it really looks like a
Until
magic
it
trick that you're just like
comes together like that. So I'll demonstrate it one more time,
Okay.
and then you can each try it. So we're going around and around.
So this is a technique that you can practice
Does
and
it
get better
have
and
to
better at.
It takes a while sometimes. Some people get it right away, and other people, it takes them a while. Some people, Curtis, never get it. But
It's okay, buddy.
it happens.
I'm gonna get it. Does it have to be counterclockwise?
No. Usually it's counterclockwise above the equator and clockwise below the equator. Yeah. So we've shown that. So now, who's going to try it first?
Me.
Curtis is.
That's what I thought.
Yep.
So spray a little water there. You can do it left-handed or right-handed.
How did you do it?
I did it left-handed, but I
Left-handed?
just happen to be left-handed. So actually, I can do it with either hand.
Oh, I'm really nervous right now. So we're kind of
Close.
doing that and we're pushing it and we're kind of getting it under there. You said I would get this very quickly.
I said
Look at that, that's
some people
beautiful.
would, yeah. Well,
Just
it's
don't-
round, but the skin is not tight. See, the skin has, so we'll just polish it up. You want to give it one
Mine
more try?
looks perfect.
One more try.
One
Okay.
more.
Okay.
Try it again.
I'm gonna try it with my right hand this
Okay.
time. Because I'm feeling like maybe if I would have done it with my,
Do you know if you're left-handed or right-handed?
I'm,
Have you decided
I'm
yet?
ambidextrous.
Uh-huh. Actually, in baking school, I had an instructor who was literally ambidextrous. He could decorate a cake with either hand
I
equally
can
well.
too, but it
was
looks terrible.
marvelous.
It does not look good.
So, all right, we'll fix this one, and we'll let you try it.
mine look great. I'm just saying, mine look great.
All right, there's a different way to do it. You can just take it and form it into a ball, and then pull it tight, and then pinch it at the bottom. It takes longer, and it's not the professional
Not as
way.
fancy.
Not the. Well, I want to do that.
So anyway,
Okay, come on, Anna, let's see what you got.
Okay.
put a little
Okay,
water.
so you-
Okay.
So you push it like with your hand
That's
up
not how
against
you
your
do it.
fingers?
Okay, Anna, you can do this. You can make the perfect ball. Just close your eyes and visualize. Visualize, you can do this.
Win this one for Old Smoky.
There you go. Who's Smokey?
I don't know.
Okay.
The nice part is most home bakers will be better than us.
That's true. Any home baker will be better than us.
The exciting thing about a hospital-based teaching kitchen is that it's not set up like a hospital production kitchen. It's not a commercial kitchen space. When you walk into a hospital teaching kitchen, it's like a learning laboratory for patients and their support people. It is set up to be warm, to be welcoming, like the kitchen is in your own home. It's set up to look like a residential kitchen. If you open up the cabinets, you will see things that you're familiar with as far as cooking equipment and gear. This is a really important concept because we want people to be able to replicate what they're learning in the teaching kitchen in their own home.
We're going to cover these
Okay.
and let them rest for about 20 minutes.
Oh, they're tired.
That
Which
was
is
my joke.
Basically,
Oh, oops.
it lets the gluten relax, actually. So we're just going to set the timer for 20 minutes
20 minutes.
and get them going. So there's two ways, just like rolling the balls, there's two ways to shape a bagel.
Okay.
You can take the ball of dough, roll it out into a log shape,
Okay.
about yay long, wrap it around your hand, overlap the ends like that, and then apply pressure.
That's how you kind of get it to
Together.
attach.
So you get it like that.
Because I've never seen a seam on a bagel.
I've done this with Play-Doh before.
Sometimes, but instead of, if you go to a place where they make them by hand, this is how you'll see them do them. Although the real pros, which I can't do, they'll take one in each hand, a couple motions like that, roll them together.
With one hand.
Yeah, they're really fast. So
Pro too.
I haven't tried that
You
yet.
were pretty
but-
good at the rolling part.
So you
Excited about this.
roll it out like this, overlap it,
And then
Put
like
it-
that. And then,
pressure. Put it right together. So that's one way.
Okay.
The other way is just to take it, poke a hole in the center, put your fingers in there, and run it around like that.
That looks fun.
So,
I'm trying that one.
you know that one's again for beginners is usually easier. You want to be careful. You want to poke that hole. You want to be careful when you do it. You're not pulling apart too hard,
Right.
because
you're
then
just-
you're going to pull the thing apart.
Right.
You know, and sometimes you get a thin spot depending on where you put the hole. You get a thin spot that's weak, and then it ends up pulling apart. So you can see that spot there is a little bit thinner than the
Yeah.
rest. So if I'd have pulled a little bit harder,
It would have been.
it would have come apart on me.
It would have been a schmegel.
So
Get
Curtis,
it?
want
This is schmess.
try there.
Okay. Just a little bit. Just get on in there like that, and put your little fingers in here, and then don't pull. You don't pull. You just.
Just gently. You gently want to pull. It's not going to fall apart on itself. There you go.
Oh, it's getting thin in that
Yeah,
spot though.
yeah. So be careful. So
No,
there
yeah.
you go. You got it.
Okay.
Good.
Ooh, good job, Curtis.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
Why don't you do another one, and then we'll see if there's anybody else in the room who wants to try it.
Okay. Can I try the other way too?
Sure.
All right. Because you know I'm Italian.
Uh-huh.
We're good with dough.
And
We're good
so
with
I
dough.
was trying to see what the connection was.
Yeah, we're
there.
good with dough. Look at that. Yeah. Do you think that's good enough? Or do you think
It's kind of lumpy.
is it lumpy?
You want it even dimension all the way across. All right, is that long enough to wrap around your
I
hand?
think so.
Maybe a little. Okay, try it now.
Okay. And then do that. And then
See,
put
your
that.
hand's bigger than mine.
And then do that. Yeah! Like a dough knuckle. Okay, I have bad news.
You can't get it off.
I can get it off, but it's really light. I mean, that is not the...
No, we'll just
You fixed it.
help it along there. So, okay. You want to
Okay,
try
my
one?
turn.
Go
Okay.
right ahead.
So
Try
then
it
we do
either way
this.
you want.
You can do this. It's fun. Do you know what? This would be really fun to do with like your family.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, anybody can do it. if you get into making, I mean, these are going to come out a lot better than what you're going to be able to buy at Safeway or
Well, and
the
they're
market
healthier.
or whatever.
All that stuff that we put in it before, like that
And-
was.
And you can
That
put
sort of
whatever seasonings on you want.
Our current food supply is full of ultra-processed foods. Ultra-processed foods are shelf-stable foods with ingredients lists that are very long. The ingredients on these lists are things that you could find in a laboratory, a science laboratory, rather than a home kitchen. So one of the goals of the Teaching Kitchen is to help people be less reliant on those ultra-processed foods that are devoid of nutrition and often very high in carbs and calories, and instead help to teach them the skills so that they can transform local, fresh ingredients quickly into healthy meals for themselves and their families.
Okay, so we do this around here.
I'm gonna do this way.
Okay, good idea.
And the one with this one. Mm. I see.
Oh, Curtis!
See, I told you, fun for the whole family.
You need to put some more pressure on there
Oh.
and work in the middle towards
One
the
hand,
ends.
one hand.
Otherwise, you don't.
Look at that.
one
Okay,
is
I'm actually really proud of this bagel. I would like you to look at it, Warren, because I feel like this is an excellent bagel. Look at that.
Pretty good.
That's pretty good,
darn
right?
good,
I
yeah.
thought so too.
So this makes 14. So if we made this on like a weekend, we could have breakfast for 2 people the whole week.
The whole
Sure,
week.
sure. And one of the things you can do, what I do is we make up a batch. You have the ones that you want to have fresh, and then you slice the others and then freeze them.
I was gonna say, you
so
can
how
freeze
do
these?
you,
They freeze
how do
great,
you,
and then you can either toast them right out of the freezer.
oh, so you can just
That's
put
why
it
you
right in the,
that's why you slice them first.
Look at, these are getting better every single time I do them. I mean, that's a beautiful bagel.
Actually, for the first time tonight, you're right.
all I heard was you're right and you're the best bagel
Hey.
makers.
If they're frozen,
seems like
if you have the
it's
frozen
better
halves, you can pop them in the microwave for
This one
about
is good for me.
20
Anna.
seconds.
'Cause it's like
and
a
then
dance.
Have it
Rolling, rolling,
fresh
rolling.
bagel.
Keep that dough rolling, rawhide.
No, bagel. Warren's never going to talk to us again.
How long does it take a bagel to defrost?
We think you
and
put it right in the
If you hadn't been talking over when I was speaking earlier, you'd know that that was about 20 seconds in the microwave.
Oh, 20 seconds in the microwave.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's good to know.
So, got to pay attention there all the
I
time.
know.
Right.
So,
I'm not good with details.
so we will cover these up, and again, these will sit for about 20 minutes also, and then go in the refrigerator.
Again?
So they sit first and then go.
And they will go in the refrigerator overnight.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
It's a
So we'll see you tomorrow.
It'll be a long, slow, what's called fermentation. With any kind of bread, the longer, slower fermentation that you do, the more flavor develops over that time. It's partially why a lot of breads, commercial breads, are relatively tasteless because they put more yeast in and other things and proof it over just a matter of a couple of hours. It doesn't have time to develop flavor. So this will sit overnight in the refrigerator. We give it about 20 minutes out first, gives the yeast a chance to give it like a head start.
So it's super fun to make.
Yeah,
It's way better tasting than the bagels that you get at the store.
right.
And you can keep them in the freezer 20 seconds. I think this is like the way we need to make bagels from now on.
It's almost like it was planned that way.
Right? Hey, has anybody seen Gina?
I don't know. I haven't. She's
She's around somewhere.
she's
Well, she
missing
loves
this. She
bagels.
loves bagels.
I'm gonna go try to find her.
Okay. Bye, Curtis. Let's make these
Okay,
bagels.
so we've
Hi,
got
friends.
Well,
TJ
hello
said
again.
you were
Hello
making
again.
bagels,
Yeah,
so I
wel-
knocked him down and took his apron.
Welcome. What a deal.
You know,
Yeah,
that's
right.
a good one.
So we've got the bagels that have been sitting in the refrigerator overnight,
Okay.
gaining flavor, rising some,
Gaining flavor.
and we're gonna then boil them.
Yeah, they really smell
And
good.
see that. By the way, I should mention we put them on the pans on silicone mats.
Right.
You can use parchment paper. If you use parchment paper, you need to spray it lightly with pan spray because
Okay.
they'll stick. Nothing much sticks to silicone. And the beauty of using the silicone mats, if you happen to have them, is you can use them over and over again instead of using a new sheet of
Oh, so
parchment
it's like a
paper every
more
time.
sustainable way to
These
do
have been
that.
used hundreds of times. So we're gonna, the next step is gonna be to boil the bagels. So we'll get the water boiling.
Okay.
Remember that barley malt that we added to the dough earlier on? We're gonna put a big heaping tablespoon of that into the water. This does two things here. It adds a little bit of flavor and color. We get it up to a boil and then take the bagels and put them in for about a minute on each side.
Bagels are different than bread because they have an added step of dunking them in boiling water. The starch molecules that are on the outside of that dough interact with the water, and the water sort of coats them so that those starch granules can't expand. This is why it has a dense and chewy exterior, but more of a softer interior. It's so crucial for a good bagel to have that chew.
So we'll take one out, turn it upside down because we're topping them. We're not putting it on the bottom.
Oh, nice.
And comes out.
And just so you know, at home, they smell amazing.
So this oven is at 475 convection. If you don't have convection on your oven, just do it at 500. And we're gonna put them on for 7 minutes and then we'll rotate them. No matter how even you think your oven bakes, it's still a little bit uneven. You can see how these bagels are a little bit lighter on the side that was towards the door than towards the back. Your top of your oven is always going to be slightly warmer than the bottom. So you want to rotate them around and then top to bottom. Put them on for another 6.5 minutes. So we've got nice looking bagels here. Just put these over here to cool off.
Well, these are beautiful.
All right, so we'll slice a bagel. Think about bagel slicing. You notice how I started from the top, holding it from the top, and working my way down. You don't want to be holding it like this.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
When
so,
doing them
50,
one at a time like this, you want to be start at the top
50
and work your way down like that. Or you can put your hand on top like that and work your way
through.
across like that.
It's important if you're eating a bagel to put some protein with it. Because it is a higher carb food, we want to level out our insulin rise by incorporating some sort of a protein. So peanut butter, salmon, cream cheese, things like that could be a good addition to a bagel.
So there you go.
Bagel. I won.
You did win.
Get a taste
ready?
of your
Yeah.
efforts here.
Oh, cheers. That's a good bagel.
Very good.
Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. We had a great time and I hope you did too. Don't forget to donate to the Health and Wellness Center by clicking the donate button above. Thank you so much.